Hi, in this video on OpenCV using my BeagleBoard, I focus once again on the color space changing from blue, green and red to UE saturation and value, BGR to HSV. Last time I had quite a problem to find the correct values for the color I am using, which is color or brown. However, when I used blue, I immediately had here black and blue standing out. However, with brown I clearly had not the right values, so that went wrong. However, using GIMP you can do it another way, determining the values, that is. GIMP is an open source photo editing program, picture editing. If you don't know where to find it, gimp.org, or you can find the link in my blog. So let's find GIMP and the picture, and of course, since this is black and white, I need this one. Then we pick the color picking tool, select, and then the question is, which color value is it? So now we see that it has the correct foreground color, and we are stuck with 43, 66, 71, and not RGB but BGR is apparently 61, 147 and 182. So I am going to put that in. 61. Next is 147. That is really a very different number. And 182, which is also quite different. The question is, what should upper brown be? I think that that shouldn't be too far away, and maybe picking this color because it's slightly out of the light, but it is the same color, so let's pick this one. And what I also notice is that it appears to be not the exact same color but an approximation, so there may be still a chance that it doesn't work after all. Let's probe again. Anyway, this should be 72, so let's do that. In here, 72, 99 and 115. Again, making sure that we do take BGR and not RGB. So now I'm very curious what will happen. Save, run the show, no problem here. But once again, not what we expect to happen, and that's a disappointment. Now from the by using the blue values, I know that it works. So the question is still, why does this not work? Is this may be such an approximation that it is almost impossible to really actually have the right color. Let's probe this side, which is not a color yet. This is a bit brighter, so brighter, less bright, even less brighter. So that's curious. Anyway, this is lighter, so light brown could be also 69. $189 and $212. Go here, let's probe again, maybe here. On the other hand, here is the risk of probing one of the orange jump wires, so I really should be careful. And another problem is, of course, that it's not an equal colorization, if that's the right word. So let me probe here on the side of the table, which is quite a lot darker, which is 68,108 and 126. .68, well, that is the darker one, so let's just use it. Then 108 and 126. And just do it again, after saving, of course. Yes, and let's do it again. And again, no luck. So my conclusion is that let's go back to blue for a moment. And then we have to adjust this one, of course. Save and run again, just to test that things are working as they should. And here we have the blue color. So this means that the code does work. However, the colorization, even when using this coloring tool and color probing, even that is not a guarantee, clearly, for getting the values right. and that is bring forward the question how to solve this. Is there a way to actually pick the correct color? Because if you notice this, no matter where I probe, I get a different value. It is in the scope, but it just doesn't work like this. And by eyesight, I also find that this color is not the same as this, but then again you have a color range lower to upper, which apparently works for the blue, but it doesn't work for this. So let me go back here. It works for the blue color but not for the brown, and that is the big question, how to do that. Should I change color using white? But no, experiments already proved that taking white is a very different task, because white is essentially no color, neither is black. So that is the big question, how to solve that. And I guess that I have to find a solution for that before going on. So that's the next step. Another way to manipulate or see two images is a program that I've used for my discovery project as well. It's called Imagemagick. With Imagemagick you can do a lot of things which I do not need right now, since I only want to know what color it is, and since with the GIMP I can hardly find the correct values. This is all editing and transforming. So let's see here. It says show preview, show mate, image info. Maybe that gives something. That gives a lot of information on PNG, but well, we knew that. Resolution, print size, type is true color, which is of course quite important. Then the point is, which color? Another point is, and that may be a reason for the not going so well of my transformation, because here I read which I didn't think of, color space is RGB and not BGR. However, the question is, since I can fill that in like BGR instead of RGB, is that of any influence? How important is that information right now? Red says max 253, green 244 max. This is 255 for blue. How of importance is that right now? This is a lot of information, but I currently cannot tell if that is of any importance. So with that in mind, can I probe it? First dismiss of this. Preferences maybe? Not really. Okay, so despite this Imagemagick being a quite useful program in other circumstances, it does not tell me how I can determine the BGR values of this kind of this image, or this part of the image, or this part of the image, and that's exactly what I do want to know. So I have to go on with the search for this kind of information. After a bit of search, I came with another program that was recommended for photo information, program being Shotwell. Using a different photo, I can anyway try to find some information. However, it turns out that the information you can do, or you can deal with, is tagging, which I don't need, flipping, which I don't need, and all the other things have to do with metadata, and that is not what I want to deal with. I don't want to improve an appearance, photo, color and tone. Does this say anything? No, because this is just exposure saturation. It doesn't have any right eye. I don't have to straighten, crop or rotate. So I think this metadata, like exposure of 1/8 of a second, according to ISO 160, I think that is useful information for me right now. So this program, while it certainly has its assets, it's of no use for me. Bring me back to GIMP, and for now the only thing I can do is with this, and it has shown that this is not really useful for me right now, although it comes very, very close. But as long as this doesn't work, or this doesn't show the right information, because yeah, okay, it's now blue, but let me just bring this back to brown. Save, run. And then of course I don't expect a blue border, but I expect to be everything black and show some brownish spots here and there. However, that does not happen. So maybe these colors are still the wrong value. Just could be, but so far it doesn't work. So let's just see. That is another thing I can try. This value, and let me check this, because this is 120 and 255. Where does it say 120? You would say this is 100 and this is 255. So where exactly does it come from? Is it HSV? Is it BGR? That is a very good question right now. This is 250, 240. This is 100 and 100. And this doesn't even come close to these values. So this keeps me wondering, how does this work actually? That is a very good question. And leaves me kind of in doubt. Because of course this is 255, which is ultimate blue. And this is BGR. But these are completely zero, which the others obviously are not. So considering this, there's quite something to find out. When you are dealing with color spaces, which is interesting, but what is what exactly? And for now, this is, as far as I can tell, the best tool to find it out. And yet, with this, I have more questions than answers. That's for another time. So, thank you for watching, and to be continued.